live, and hopefully, the sound issues that we maybe had over on the other platform. I'm not gonna say the other platform's name, because I don't want to get kicked off of this platform. But hopefully, the sound issues we had on the other platform, we're not having on this platform as well. So that is something I need to check right at the gate. I need to make sure that my folks over in Facebook land and over in YouTube, make sure that you guys can hear me this morning loud and clear. Let me check that real quick. Platform as well. So that is something I need to check right. Yeah, I sound good over there. Dang, I sound good. Not bad for 2:30 in the morning. That's right. Hey, we're gonna talk about what you don't know absolutely can hurt you. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. What you don't know absolutely can hurt you. Now, I know you've been told what you don't know won't hurt you, that whole thing. Well, we're going to blow that up. We're going to blow that up this morning. What you don't know can hurt you. We're also going to talk about what's going on out here with Grant Cardone at the Real Estate Summit that I am at here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Some of the things that I learned that are going to be super valuable, super important to you this morning. I'm going to make sure you walk away with at very least, one piece of wisdom, one nugget, one piece of knowledge that you didn't know when you walked into this room. That is my promise and assurance to you. So, with that said, we need to dive right in. Let's go.
Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to eight, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations, because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Whoa, why am I here? Are you guys hearing that feedback?
We hear that.
That must be somebody else. That must be a hot mic. That can't be coming from me. All right, check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, the people here in the hotel are gonna get so mad. They're gonna totally kick me out. I know it's gonna happen. If I get kicked out, you guys are gonna have to come get me. All right, come bail me out if they take me to jail or something like that. All right, because I am coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona, and it is currently 2:39 a.m. That's right, 2:39 a.m. Pacific time out here in Scottsdale. It's a beautiful place though, man. If you haven't been to Scottsdale, Arizona, you got to check it out sometime. I know you wouldn't think the desert could be so absolutely spectacular, but it truly is. It is a spectacular place with spectacular views. We actually just had a retreat recently here for our 800% club, and that was absolutely phenomenal. And so to be back again is incredible, especially considering this is my home state. Right, this is where I actually grew up. I spent 28 years of my life living over on this side, minus a few early years when we were in Germany and my dad was in the military. But I've been here for a long time. So I'm coming to you live from Arizona, where if I actually lived here in Arizona, I wouldn't be doing a show at 2:30 in the morning every day. We'd be 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. But with this amazing opportunity to share my mornings with you, it is an honor and an absolute pleasure to get up at 12:30 at night so that I can prep and be here and spend this time with you. So thank you for choosing to be here with me today as we come live from Scottsdale, Arizona at 2:30 in the morning, where it is currently 93 degrees outside. Just in case you were wondering, right now it is 93 degrees out here in Scottsdale at this time. Now, I've been here since yesterday. I got here yesterday. Yesterday was an interesting day, right? Basically, I got up at midnight Arizona time, did a show from the airport yesterday, from Lexington Airport, flew out here to Arizona. I was in Arizona by 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, right? And immediately I got to my hotel, went to check in. They didn't have my room ready, which was okay because I immediately went into the conference that I am here for, and it was amazing. My guy John Paul Guidry, if you guys don't know, John Paul Gidry, aka JP. The dude is absolutely spectacular. He's just an incredible, incredible human all the way around. Him and I met through 800% Club many, 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 many years ago. He's been a part of my 800% Club since the very, very, very beginning. And the dude's just amazing. So I got to meet up with him yesterday, which was super cool. My sister Tina is here as well. It's my only full-blooded sister. We have the same mom and the same dad. I have a total of seven sisters and brothers. But my sister Tina, she's my only full. So she's here, right, which was super cool. I got to have lunch with her yesterday. Got to spend some time with her at the retreat. Also, there are a ton of Clubhouse peeps that are here. So people from the Clubhouse app, from the Breakfast with Champions. You know, it's really cool when you walk into a room and people are like, "Oh, Glenn Lundy, Breakfast with Champions." You're like, this is amazing, right? But yeah, there's a Migana is here, and Byron from Breakfast with Winners, the guys that run the Breakfast with Winners room. They're here, that whole group, and then Ashley, and I didn't see Q, but her husband Q is the one that introduced me to this idea of doing the show, the Rise and Grind show on Clubhouse, right? Which created this global reach that we've been able to get that's been absolutely phenomenal, right? And so there's a ton of Clubhouse peeps here, which is awesome. Also, Jessica Bajorquez, aka Dora the Explorer. For those of you that were at my last retreat, we went and we did some sunrise hikes out in the desert. And Jessica Bajorquez is a realtor here in the Scottsdale area, connected through our show. And she took us out on these trails. And so we call her Dora the Explorer because she was out there crushing the trail when we were all out there struggling, right? It was awesome. But she's here, got to see her. She's amazing. She was here with her son, which I just love that she was pouring into her son and allowing him to learn all of these things. A guy named Brian Colhane. If you guys don't know Brian Colhane, he's an awesome dude as well. He's here, and Brian Colhane is with EXP Realty. He's like the VP or one of the head CEO people with EXP Realty. A good friend of mine over the last couple of years. I got to see him yesterday, so he's here too, which is super super cool. And then yesterday, I actually got to sit next to Elena Cardone. I got to sit next to Elena Cardone and Scarlett and Sabrina, right? Her awesome daughters. And that was super fun being able to sit next to them and hang out and get to be a part of the family, right? Just see them being normal, doing family stuff. And so yesterday was quite a treat, right? And it was crazy because I got in at like 11. I got in at 11, and when I got in, Grant Cardone was standing up there and he was training, right? Doing all kinds of training. And I asked my sister, I said, when did Grant initially get up on the stage? Right? This is a Grant Cardone Real Estate Summit that I am at. And so I asked my sister, I said, when did Grant actually get on the stage? And she was like, yeah, he got on the stage at like 9:30, right? So the summit started at 9. He was on stage at 9:30. It's 11 o'clock when I get there. And I'm like, okay, cool. This dude, he's 64 years old, by the way. This dude stayed out there until 6:30 last night. From 9:30 yesterday morning till 6:30 last night. Now he had one break for lunch. They had one break for lunch that was an hour. Other than that 1 hour break for lunch, there were no water breaks, there were no bathroom breaks. Like any event I've ever had, we usually go like an hour and a half. I'm like, all right, you guys need a quick bathroom break? Boom, we go take a little 10, 15-minute bathroom. No bathroom breaks. This dude didn't even drink any water the whole time he was up there. Like just going from 9:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night with a 1 hour lunch. He was up there the entire time, training the entire time. He did not have a PowerPoint. There was no PowerPoints. It was literally just pure wisdom and strategy that he was dumping on all of us for 8 hours. Like, it was unreal. It really was unreal. I learned so much. I learned a lot about real estate, but I also learned a lot about myself. I also learned about some of my limiting beliefs. I also learned things on events. Like, I learned a ton. And I'm going to share some of those things with you that I learned today, or that I learned yesterday, and I'm going to share what I learned with you this week. But before we get into all that, you guys know what we got to do on this show. At least some of y'all know what we got to do on this show. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button. Because I'm on this planet. And sometimes all it takes to change the way you start your day is for you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I'm going to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this thing on live or you're watching on replay, whatever it is, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. All right. We're also doing some dancing. If you're over there on the Facebook side, there should be some music rolling. This is your opportunity to get that object in motion. That object being your body. Listen, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So now's the time for you to get up. Let's go. If you're laying in the bed, come on, come on, come on. If you're out there working out, pick up the pace. You can run a little bit faster. I know you got a little bit more in you just for the next 2 minutes. All right, for the next 2 minutes, I want you to give it a little bit extra if you're out there on a run. If you're lifting weights, for the next 2 minutes, I want you to pull it up, all right? Just pick up a little extra weight. 2 minutes. 2 minutes of a little bit extra will go a long way, all right? You got this, you got this. All right, this is also the part of the show. Like I said, I want to say good morning to you. You say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. All right, so I'm going to say good morning to Cheryl Alexander. I see she is here this morning. Good morning, Cheryl. Thanks for being here with me. I also see Stephanie Toadvine is in the building. Great to see you, Stephanie. She says, I'm up. Okay, good. Get up. Kim Fair is in the building. Lauren Lay is up in here. Gloria Bond and Gretchen Ward. How you doing, Jeremy Noley and April Johnson? We got Janelle Griego in the building. Deidre Buffington is up in here. I see Navia. How you doing, Navia? I'm glad you're here this morning. Dr. Jamesia Annette is in the building. Arpit and Mac and Holly and Dee. We've got Professor and Travis and Jeff Moffitt is in the building. Robin Wilshans. We got Archie up in here. River Scott. Amonte Harvey is up in here. Sean Weatherby up in the building. As a matter of fact, Jeff or Renee or one of you guys, if you're watching on Facebook and listening and you have a Roadcaster or Dora Maria, I'm getting ready to show a couple video clips. If you could play the sound from those into the clubhouse room for me, that would be amazing. Like, you just put your phone up, unmic, put your phone up next to it, something like that. That would be really helpful. So I'm about to play those in just a few seconds. So just one of y'all, if you could think about that, that'd be great. But Archie, I'm glad you're here. Soul Salcido is killing the game. Kimberly Hatfield is in the building as well. I also see Coco and Core Element are up in here. Lady Jules, I see Will is in the building. I see Dr. Jeannie is up in here. Kim and Judy, Liza Myers-Borges, Stars Tina, David, TM, David Hill and TM both in the building. Glad you guys are here. Archie's here. Look, I'm glad you guys are here. We're going to have a heck of a show. I'm going to teach you guys some things. All right, I got a couple nice little videos for you right here that we're going to roll, and then we're going to keep rocking and rolling. For those of you on Clubhouse, it might be a little quiet for a second unless somebody can stream it in. Let's go. First video. We are going to be having a retreat in Atlanta. For those of you that are in automotive, if you're an owner or a general manager of a car dealership, you're going to want to join us. It's going to be bad to the bone. Check this out.
Automotive dealer owners and GMs only, exclusively on October 26th, the Technology Matters Summit presented by 800% Elite Automotive Club. We are holding this event at one of the premier dealerships in the United States of America. We will be at Beaver Toyota in Cummins, Georgia. That's right, Beaver Toyota, led by Patrick Abad. I know you've heard of the place. They've had a massive increase in sales over the last 3 years. and we're going to have our event right there on site. So you can check out the store, you can check out all the features, you can check out what some are calling the Disneyland of dealerships as we learn that technology matters from Dan Moore, Aaron Cheeks, Brian Kramer, and so many more. Grab your ticket now. We'll see you there. October 26th, Cummins, Georgia. Don't miss it.
Good morning, this is Jess with Good News Girls, and today I have a couple of special guests. I have the Twain sisters, and they are going to talk to us about what they do and how they are able to bless people.
Hi, I'm Vicki.
And I'm Gail.
And we are in the gifting business. We like to lift others up and make them feel good about themselves, because people might forget what you did and what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel, whether it's good or bad.
That's true. That is true.
So true. We've put together a little fall bucket just to kind of demonstrate what we would do if we had somebody call us and say, we just need a real quick little fall bucket to give to somebody. So we put this together, and I smell this, Gail. That literally smells like heaven in a latte cup right there. It's a candle.
Yeah.
And so we've got us a little bow here that we always kind of fix it with the bow. And what we're gonna do, we usually shrink wrap this, don't we? But today we are actually, come here a minute, Jessica, and help me lift this. This is going to Jessica. We are twanging Jessica. You've been twanged, girl.
Oh, that is so sweet, and it's so beautiful.
That is for you.
I was not expecting that.
I know. So look at the camera and tell them how great the twang is.
Amazing.
But that's what it's all about, making somebody feel good and lifting them up and loving them back to life.
We really appreciate you inviting us to be on the Good News Girls segment, because y'all rock doing what you do. So.
Thank you. Well, we are very appreciative that you even took the time out of your day to drive here. I know you don't live here, and be with us, because I know how hectic life gets. So I appreciate that so much, and appreciate your time.
Well, love you, girl.
Thank you. Well, this is the Twangs, and they are on Facebook. You see them on the comments, Vicki and Gail, and you need to kind of hit them up, have them make you a basket to give somebody, or bless someone, and just go from there. Thank you all again.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having us.
Thanks.
For real estate, number one, single family. You guys all know what this is. It's called the SFR, single family residential. Number two, single family rehab and flip. I fix it, I rehab it, I flip it. Three, single family home rental. Hey, I buy it, fix it, and rent it. There's gonna be an explosion in single family rentals right now. The returns on single family rentals are gonna be crazy. Problem is you can't scale it. Number four, duplexes and fourplexes. Easy to buy. Very easy to buy. Low percentage loans. You can get lots of leverage on them. You can put 3 or 4% down. You can probably do this 10 times and you're tapped out. I'm telling you, skip it. Go to 100 units if you can. Find the people in the room. How many in the room got money to invest? Let me just see a hand if you got money to invest. Good. See, there's plenty of money. Number five, multifamily housing. I'm telling you, this thing is the Mac Daddy, man. It is the Mac Daddy. Nothing's going to exhaust it. Nothing's going to get rid of it. You got all these people from New York, Washington, D.C. They're starting to float down. They can't afford D.C. You can Google migration charts in the United States. You'll see all these red lines moving. We've had more positive migration into the city of Miami from the state of California in the history of the state of Florida this year, in the last 12 months. Never happened. Retail strip centers. This is the kind of real estate you can buy. That was shut down during COVID. Churches were shut down. Stadiums were shut down. The U.S. government was shut down. Local governments were shut down. Police departments were like, oh, maybe not. Fire departments, maybe not. Hospitals, no. Apartments, not one apartment building in America was shut down. Not one. People should be looking at this, but you got to understand how to handle 7 tenants. Seven tenants are going to be long-term tenants. And you better be sure you got a good tenant here, because you're probably going to have more turnover here than you are in number 5. Number 7, retail single tenant like Walgreens or CVS. Those are single tenants. You're dependent upon one person, one company paying you. I don't like this. I'd be very careful in this space, because Amazon's probably going to eat CVS. Number 8, industrial warehouses. Okay, been a big expansion. If you flew into Opelika, on the way out of Opelika, you see a big Amazon, like 50 acres of nothing but warehouses. That's what's considered industrial. It's been one of the leaders in real estate for the last 7 or 8 years. provides cash flow. Storage, unbelievable. How many seen these big storage places? You know what? People will pay more to store stuff they don't want and pay for it longer than they will their children. Number 10, office buildings, okay? Office vacancy in Miami is the highest it's been in a decade. And then you'll see that I bought an office building just 4 months ago. Okay, when we bought that office building, we were at 85% occupied. So look, when you read a headline, don't let the headline mess up your head. Don't lose my capital. I know the neighborhood. You can't build here. It's almost impossible to build. It's on the water, got great views, and I'm next door. It's a no-brainer for me. You bought a house, not a person in the room knows anybody that's created wealth out of one house. Nobody. You bought a house, dude, because you thought you wanted real estate. And you're getting pounded. We gotta have a place to live. Okay. Well, why don't you just go rent a place or get a hotel room? You don't have to buy a house first, okay? It's what I'm telling you. You create wealth because you have a business that pays you. So first, I gotta take care of me and my health. 2, I gotta take care of me and my business. We got a business, we gotta take care of our business. I don't need to be out looking at real estate. Me and her got a business, then I'm betraying her, okay? Once the business gets rolling, now I'm like, okay, I wanna go buy a piece of real estate. What kind of real estate?
So listen, check it out, right? There are all these different. Thank you, Jeff, by the way. You're amazing. That was amazing, Jeff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved the day, brother. That's what you just did right there. You saved the day. You the man. Listen, I've been studying Grant Cardone since 1999. Since 1999, I've been studying Grant Cardone. That's when I watched my very first Grant Cardone training. That's when I began this kind of journey of learning sales in the automotive space. And some people love Grant Cardone, some people hate Grant Cardone, and everywhere in between on the spectrum. No doubt about it. But either way, whether you love the dude or you hate the dude, either way, this guy, I watched him go from selling CDs out of the trunk of his car to dealerships all over the country. I watched him go from that to where he's now worth $5.2 billion. Buh, 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 buh. $5.2 billion. Now listen, success always leaves clues. So you need to lean in. Like him or don't like him, you need to lean in. You see, yesterday I learned that what you don't know can hurt you. Yesterday I watched a non-genius, that's what I'm going to call him. I watched a non-genius give a master class on the things that he does know. I mean, an absolute master class on the things that he does know. Not the smartest dude in the world, he'll tell you that himself. But he has learned, studied, and put in the work that has made him a genius in the areas that he knows. Grant Cardone knows sales. He knows people. He knows money. He knows marketing. He knows real estate. And maybe most importantly, out of all of those, or on top of all of those, he knows tax law. Like knows the tax laws in and out. The tax laws of the rich and famous. The tax laws of the wealthiest of the wealthy. The most important one on that list is people. He knows people. He knows how to connect with people. He knows how to get what he wants with people. He knows how to help elevate people, inspire people, motivate people. He's amazing with people. But the second most is definitely got to be tax law. He knows the tax laws in and out. And that was one of my biggest takeaways yesterday. What you don't know absolutely can hurt you. Did you know, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Did you know that if your company, let's just say your company made $1 million last year, that'd be amazing, right? Let's just say your company makes $1 million. Taxes wise, you're most likely going to pay about 40% of that in tax. That's 400K, right? So you make 1 million, you get to keep 600, which is a lot of money. You keep 600. 400K goes to taxes in most cases, right? But did you know that if you took that 400K, right, you paid your quarterly taxes like you're supposed to, you take the 400K and you invest it in a property that's worth 1.6 million, right? He uses 4 times. So you invest the 400K into a property worth 1.6 million. You can now depreciate that $1.6 million property. You're like, what's depreciate mean? You can write off the depreciation of the things that are going to be inside the property. Not the land itself, not the property itself, but like refrigerators, tables, chairs, all the things that are going to be in there, right? You can depreciate those. Those are going to lose value over time. So you can take 27 years of depreciation on that property, 27 years of depreciation. Remember that, 27 years of depreciation on that property, right? You can take 27 years of depreciation on that property and apply it now. So let's just use 600,000. Let's just say that number is 600,000. Okay? So I made 1 million. I would have paid 400,000 in taxes, or I did in quarterly taxes. I now take 400,000 and I buy a house or a place, a multifamily unit worth 1.6 million. I can now depreciate $600,000. Okay? I can depreciate 600,000. So I owed 400,000 in taxes, but because I bought this property, I can depreciate, I can write off $600,000 in taxes. So guess what happens? Guess what happens? If I owe 4, I write off 6. Guess what happens? I get a check back. Not only do I get a new property worth $1.6 million, I get a check back for $200,000 in tax overpayment, right? Plus, I would get my quarterly stuff back, so I would actually get a bigger check, even bigger than that. But instead of paying 400, I'm now getting a property for 400 and a check back for 200. What you don't know, please consult your CPA first. Yeah, right, dude. That's straight up tax law, bro. That's the thing, and that's exactly where our head goes, John Paul. We think, well, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's not fair. How should we even be able to do that? Bro, the entire code, the entire system is written for corporations and real estate. The entire thing from the get-go, from hundreds of years ago. When Alexander Hamilton was putting things in place for the founding fathers of this country, corporations and real estate. Unbelievable. But see, we go into fear, we go into doubt, we go into shame, we go into all these different places, right? Well, if you make that much money, you should pay $400,000 in taxes, right? We do all these things. We immediately go into all these spots because what we don't know is uncomfortable. So we convince ourselves that it must be hard or it must be scary or it can't be real, right? Meanwhile, the wealthiest of the wealthy, meanwhile, the richest of the rich, meanwhile, culturally, a whole entire culture of people are utilizing the system the way that it's written. You can't even say taking advantage of the system because that's not what they're doing. They're not taking advantage of anything. They're simply utilizing the system the way it is written. You and I, as we make our way through middle class America, we're throwing so much of our money away because we simply don't know. What we don't know absolutely can hurt us. Yesterday, Grant also broke down some things with some big loans. He used some really big numbers, but he showed how if you take a big loan out on a piece of property and then that property appreciates, it becomes worth more. Later, you can refinance it, take out a bigger loan against that piece of property, pay off the old loan on that piece of property, and get a check back for the difference, and you don't have to pay any taxes on that. Why? Because it's debt. You don't have to pay taxes on debt. You have to pay taxes on income. There was something he said yesterday that blew my mind. Grant said the goal is to make zero income. That's the goal. The goal is to earn zero income. To spend your money in such a way, right? To spend your money in such a way, to invest your money in such a way, to take your company and to take all your revenue and to utilize it in such a way that ultimately you make zero income. No one in my life in 44 years has ever told me the goal is to make zero income. You see, for 44 years, I have been amazing at making income. I can make a lot of money. I can make a lot of cash for 44 years. But for 44 years, I've also had the mind of a broke person. I have. I've had the mind of a broke person, not the mind of a wealthy person. And it is these things that I didn't know and that I don't know that ultimately are hurting me. Like culturally, it's a big problem. Like I grew up in it was all about status and flashy, right? That's how I grew up. You take your money and you use it for status. You buy flashy things for status, right? Whereas the right path is take your money, gain financial intelligence, and it's really boring. Like building wealth is really boring. It's a long-term game. It's really boring. It's not flashy. It's not all the flashy cars. It's not exciting. It's not status. It's multiplying your money in a certain way, understanding, educating yourself around that which matters. When it comes to money, what you don't know absolutely can and will hurt you. And what I learned yesterday, one of the biggest things I learned yesterday, is that cash is trash. To hold and own and have a bunch of cash it's trash. It's not protected. Government can seize it at any given time for any whatever reason, right? If you default on something, you have a problem. Like cash is trash, man. Assets. Assets are protected. Assets are how you create passive. Assets are how you create wealth. Assets are how you build an empire. Cash is trash. Assets are sexy. And I know Sharon Lecter and Lisa Copeland have been telling me that for a really long time, but it finally got through yesterday, and I'm sharing it with you. It's time for you and I to quit getting the short end of this stinking stick, and it's time for you and I to learn the right way to build long-term wealth. That's what time it is. That's the challenge, and that's what we're going to do. Listen, I'm already over on time today, but y'all got me hyped up. We're going to go talk about this more over on Clubhouse. You can go check us out over there if you're watching this on the replay. Of course, we'll be over on Clubhouse. Jeff Moffitt, my man Jeff's actually about to play a little song as we transition. He's going to play some music over on Clubhouse so that we can transition over so I can unplug and do a couple things over on this side and Jeff's my savior today because I love him. But if you want to talk about this more, go meet me over on Clubhouse. If you're on live, if you're on replay, we're there till 1 o'clock Eastern time. I love you. I do. I'm going to yell at you all week. It's going to be awesome. Come back and get yelled at some more tomorrow. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right. I'll see you in the morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind.